doing the visual pad checks. Referees making sure that we are starting out and all safe. Detroit starting with 2 blockers in the box. That gives them 2 on the track. Going up against 4 strong Dairyland Dolls. We'll see if our halftime talks have given any fire to either of these teams. Combat Cat taking the star for Detroit in the dark blue with red and white accents. Sequin Destroyer taking the star for the Dairyland Dolls in white with blue and gingham accents. That whistle has blown. The jam is on.
Combat Cat out, takes that inside line, sees a little bit of daylight, and she is gone. She is your lead jammer for the Motor City Disassembly line. Sequin Destroyer out too. Not exactly hot on her heels, but coming up. Two points for the Motor Disassembly line on that one, 0 for the Dairyland Dolls. I don't think these teams have been more than, 20 points away from each other at any given moment. Official timeout called by our head referee, Stabby McDudebrosen.
Quick note on the official timeout, the tape on the jammer line, the 1055 Triple M jammer line, came up off the floor, so we got to reapply.
So we're going to be taking care of some track fun stuff. We would like to give another shout out because, man, it is going to be delicious later to our 2 Feed the Doll sponsors. Our food that is made for this was grown and raised by Grassroots Farm LLC in Monroe, Wisconsin. They have certified organic vegetables, hops, pasture-raised pork, beef, lamb, turkey, chickens, and eggs. And the menu and food is prepared by Vic Perez and the Black Hawk Country Club. And we are going to be starting this next jam. We have number 22, Animatronic, going up against number 6, Wipeout Scout.
This game is being played so hard that it's destroying the track that's on the concrete.
Wipeout Scout is your lead jammer, going up against that short pack of 2 Detroit blockers. And there is a prison break. All Detroit blockers now on the track. Animatronic taking the inside line out on her initial pass.
4 points for Wipeout Scout. She passes everybody but the jammer. And that's 0 for Animatronic. Dairyland Dolls looking to extend their lead. 25 points now. And more track problems. Again, people are skating so hard out there. It's such a defensive battle that it's stripping the tape off of the concrete.
Yeah, and it also I'm not sure if you know, it's a little humid in here, and that definitely has an effect on the track, on the stickiness of the tape, and just the overall wear and tear that the track takes. But again, we do love our track officials and referees and volunteers. You're also great.
Well, the heat and the humidity not only takes a toll on the track, but the skaters and officials as well. In here, we're talking about a humidity that's, I'd say about 120%. And it's not so much skating as swimming.
Not many track surfaces that can allow power gliding like this.
Up there, we got Sprout and a tail facing off against Swift Justice.
10 and 10, battle of the tens. Let's see who gets out first.
Both jammers having a little bit of struggle at the back of the pack. Swift Justice up in there front. Molotov trying to hold her back, but it's not enough. Swift Justice is out. She is your lead jammer.
Some very sweet moves there by Peaches and Creamia to keep her in as long as she could.
So, looks like Swift Justice entered the pack as she started calling it, and unfortunately took down Slayhound with a low block. The jam was called to the conclusion, but Swift Justice did pick up that 30-second major penalty for the low block, making this next jam a power jam for Gertrude Awakening and the Dairyland Dolls.
We start off, Detroit lines up in a single line, and Madison bum rushes them straight into oblivion. Gertrude Awakening is out, lead jammer status. Looks like Effin' Money is also taking a trip to the penalty box. She will join her cohort for 30 seconds, maybe less.
Gertrude Awakening picking up 5 more points on that last pass and making her way around.
CC Ripjaw opens up a hole a bit too powerfully, ends up on the ground herself. Doesn't matter. She's back up, she's blocking.
Swift Justice out of the pack and out on her initial pass.
Gertrude Awakening with some fine control on the inside to prevent a cut, grab some 4 points, and call it off in one fell swoop, building the Dairyland Dolls lead to 105 over 68 for Detroit. 26-24 to play.
Breaking the century mark.
Combat Cat taking the star for Detroit, going up against Sequin Destroyer for the Dairyland Dolls. Going up against 4-4 blockers.
Out there for the Disassembly line, they got Peaches and Creamia, Mean Streak, Thunder Kiss, and Bone Punks and Harmony. They're all blocking like mad people out there. They're giving Sequin Destroyer a heck of a time. She gets recycled to the back of the pack again.
Combat Cat lead jam for Detroit in and scoring points.
Sequin Destroyer, some very nice footwork over here in turn 3. Keep herself in bounds, nearly pick up a few more.
And Detroit answers that last jam with 4 points of their own, taking the score Detroit to 72, Dairyland Dolls 105. 25 minutes left to go in the second half. Number 6, Wipeout Scout taking the star for the Dairyland Dolls, going up against 4, Effin' Money for Detroit.
Ooh, big pile up at the back of the pack. Knocking Jay and Effin' Money go down in a heap. No penalty, everybody's legal. Everybody keeps going up. No pack is called. Unfortunately, Dive Hard was the person most responsible for holding that pack together, and she did not. That means that she'll be spending 30 seconds in the penalty box.
Effin' Money takes a spill on turn 1 and calls it off, picking up a 3 points for Detroit, bringing up the score 75, Dairyland Dolls 105. We have a 30-point spread, and in roller derby, that is anybody's game. We got 10 on 10 again. That is Sprout and a Tail going up against Swift Justice.
Part 2, the rematch. Detroit Motor City Disassembly line starting off with a bit of advantage. They have 4 blockers out on the track to Madison's 3. Sprout and a Tail not caring about that whatsoever. She is moving up towards the front of the pack, juking and jiving her way. Only 2 blockers separate her and lead jammer status. Whoo, Molotov laying the pain out on Swift Justice.
Huge hits on both sides. Swift Justice still being held up at the front by Molotov, picks up lead jam status.
Animatronic being sent out for a cutting penalty, came in front of an opposing blocker.
Sprout and a tail sneaking it in at the end, picking up 3 points, answering to Detroit's 1 on that last pass.
One more quick reminder, fans, about our after party at the MRD Summer Party Home, the Club Inferno, just across the train tracks. We have an official timeout on the floor. More maintenance to the 105.5 Triple M jammer line. Well, that jammer line is locally maintained here at the Hartmeyer. 105.5 Triple M radio is locally programmed in Madison for Madison. It's about the music.
Up on the jammer line, we have Combat Cat going in for the motor disassembly line, and Gertrude Awakening, who just got shoved to the inside, going for the Mad Rollin' Dolls. I hear penalty whistles. It looks like Motor City disassembly line blocker number 132, Bone Punks. She is being sent off for an out of play penalty. Meanwhile, it is a foot race between the jammers.
Detroit hitting the pack, calling it off, trying to pick up a few points, picking up 2, but Dairyland Dolls sneaking through, picking up 4, extending their lead. Dairyland Dolls 112, Detroit Disassembly line 78, 22 left to go in the second half.
And again, for those of you joining us on the internews, that would be the Dairyland Dolls in the white and blue, and Detroit Disassembly line in the navy and red.
Number 10, Swift Justice in the dark blue for Detroit, going up against B52 white for, that is Sequin Destroyer for the Dairyland Dolls.
Irish giving B52 a real hard time out there on the outside, but it's not enough. B52 is out. She is your lead jammer. However, Swift Justice is right behind her.
Quick note, that is the leading score for each team at this point out on the track right now, which is why between them they score 2 points. Sometimes it happens, sometimes not.
1-1 on that last jam. Resetting, we got all blockers on the track, all jammers on the track. Number 6, Wipeout Scout for the Dairyland Dolls. Number 80, Mean Streak for Detroit. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Detroit's starting to chip away at that 30-point lead. However, they need to kick it up a bit to start closing this gap a little bit faster for them. Wipeout Scout being confronted by a wall of Navy right there in the back. She is still working hard. Meanwhile, who do we have up here? That's Mean Streak. She is out. She is your lead jammer, finding her way through the gaps, however small they may be.
Mean Streak in the pack, picking up points as Wipeout Scout is still on her initial pass. And getting recycled to the back by 119, excuse me, Nikki Knoxum.
And a combination of Micro Mauler, Fang Dangled, and Knocking Jay managed to recycle Mean Streak to the back of the pack, giving Sprout and the Tail more of a chance to get through. However, Motor City Disassembly line have defense on lockdown. They must have been talking with Tim Howard or something. Ooh.
Fang Dangle doing a great job driving out Mean Streak at the very last chance on turn 4, recycling her all the way back, and Wipeout Scout recycled back as well.
Despite being recycled to the back of the pack, she is coming back for more.
That's the fun of roller derby. You just keep going in circles.
To coin a phrase, the pack shall inherit the earth. This has been a defensive jam of the night.
Fang Dangle picked up a penalty of unnamed type and will be spending 30 seconds in the box.
Madison shut down on that last jam. Motor City Disassembly line picking up a whole bunch of points. That now puts them, if my math is correct, which it usually isn't, within 24 points? I think so. I'm going with it. 24 points.
I'm a skater. I can only count to 5.
I'm a jam ref. I can only count to 5.
Eh.
Sometimes 6.
All right, we have Sprout and Tail out there for the Dairyland Dolls, going up against number 4, Effin' Money for Detroit. Effin' Money pushing up against that wall of white in front, and is your lead jammer for Detroit.
Detroit's defense has solidified here in the last couple of minutes to provide an outstanding defense. Dairyland Dolls jammer Sprout and Tail manages to make it out, but not before Effin' Money gets 3 points while running through the pack.
Chip, chip, chip away. That's what it's all about. We have under 18 minutes left to go in the second half. That is plenty of time for either team to end up on top.
One more shout out to our bout charity. We have a charity for every bout that Mad Rollin' Dolls holds. Our charity tonight is Safe Communities of Madison-Dane County, a local nonprofit coalition that brings together public-private sector partners to save lives and make the community a safer place.
Taking the 105.5 jam line, we have Bone Punks in Harmony, and she is going to be your lead jammer. She's going up against Gertrude Awakening, jammer for the Dairyland Dolls.
Everybody goes down in a heap on turn 1 and turn 2. Gertrude Awakening is out sporting her traditional Gur face, looking mad as hell.
I do love that Gur face. I do love it. Timeout being called by the Dairyland Dolls in white. We'd like to give a shout out to some of our ticket outlets. If you're interested in attending one of our bouts coming up next, which would be August 9th, you can hit up Malat's Pharmacy over on Willie Street, Freedom Skate Shop on State Street, or Pegasus Games on Odana Road. You can also go to madrollindolls.com and get tickets there, or get tickets tonight for only $10 a pop.
Those of you watching at home, you're watching courtesy of Hinckley Design and Production. They produce everything from videos and commercials to interviews. They have produced darn near every single bout that MRD has held for about the last 6 years. They have been a huge partner of MRD, and we thank them so much for their partnership.
And so we're going to be getting this jam underway shortly. On the 105.5 jam line, we have Sequin Destroyer going up against Effin' Money from Detroit.
I think we've seen these two paired a few times here up on the jammer line.
I do believe, I do declare.
Both are fast and able to pretty much block for themselves.
I believe Effin' Money might be one of the Detroit A-team skaters, if I am not mistaken. I have seen her on that roster before. She is definitely skilled enough to be on it. And Sequin Destroyer pushing her way up front, using her own blockers as a battering ram, and is out and lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls. Huge hit by Molotov at the front of the pack, brings Effin' Money all the way back, and Susie Homewrecker smartly pulls the cut on Effin' Money. That will make this a power jam in favor of the Dairyland Dolls.
Sometimes the block to the outside is like a milk carton. If you don't recycle it all the way, there's no point.
Gotta rinse that out before you recycle it. Sequin taking the long way around the outside, distracting her blockers, distracting the Detroit blockers. She picks up 5 points.
This might be exactly what Madison needs to snap the comeback of the Motor City Disassembly line.
Detroit doing some great tight defense, bridging out very effectively. The Sequin pushing away to the front, picking up another 5-point pass. She calls off the jam just in time for the Detroit jammer to be released. So we are going to be starting this next jam with both jammers and all the blockers on the track.
It had to happen sometime and might as well be Jammer number 14.
Yeah. We have number 10, that is Swift Justice, making her way to the line with Wipeout Scout.
Sorry, photo opportunity. We had to stop there for just a moment.
Wipeout Scout going up first. Swift Justice taking a spill in the back, but making her way out of the pack first and is lead jammer for Detroit.
She makes it look easy.
I like it.
I hear penalty whistles calling. A multiplayer block being signaled out to Combat Cat. Uniballer using his mighty voice to call across the track.
Combat Cat on her way to the penalty box on a multiplayer block. That'll leave Detroit down 4-3 on blockers at a time when they need every blocker they can get.
Still a 30-point spread between these two teams, but there's less than 15 minutes left.
Again, that is a testament to the hard play on both sides and the heavy defense that both of these teams are putting up against each other. We have number 10, Sprouting a Tail on the 105.5 Jam line going up against Bone, Punks in Harmony. Bone's getting driven back by the Dairyland Dolls defense. Sprout one to beat, one last hit by 7-7-0. That is Peaches and Creamia, but Sprouting a Tail is out as your lead jammer.
Bones is out, but she is at a she is half a track behind Sprouting a Tail, who is already scoring points. She calls it off.
And whistles are blown. Looks like that jam is done. Yeah, we have some tape track maintenance that's gonna happen here. We have an official timeout to take care of that.
You know, it's really been a testament to the defense in this bout that we've seen this thing fly for about 40, 45 minutes, and there's still only about 230 points total.
I've seen games that the point total between both teams has easily breached 500 points. And so for these people to be taking this much care and taking this much effort with defense really shows.
Again, it's always a hard, awesome bout when Detroit and Madison meet. Not that, people don't take it seriously, but these teams take it a little extra serious sometimes.
No kidding. And especially being founding members of the WFTDA, I mean, that's 10 years of roller derby being played. It's 20 cumulative years out here on the track.
Lots of years of roller derby.
And a lot of history at high levels.
I'm sure it's all very cordial. A bunch of how do you do, sirs, and madams, and whatnots.
While we've got a break in the action, a few more thanks to our sponsors this evening. Thanks so much to Mini of Madison, who continue to keep it mini, motivated, inspired, not normal, and innovative. Thanks to Mini of Madison for sponsoring one of our teams at our upcoming expo bout at the Dane County Fair. Huge support to MRD, we greatly appreciate it, as well as the support of Pabst Blue Ribbon, who is supporting who will be sponsoring the other team, the Pabst Blue Rollers, on Friday, the July 18th at the Dane County Fair.
And that rolling whistle means the next whistle you hear will start the jam. We have number 80, Main Street, taking the star against OW Gertrude Awakening for the Dairyland Dolls.
4-3 advantage for the Motor City Disassembly line. Brokeback Jack still out here in the penalty box, and it definitely shows as Mean Streak makes it through lead jammer status before turn 2. Gertrude Awakening still fighting through the pack, putting her Gur face on. Keeps on pushing those blockers out. Meanwhile, Mean Streak is recycled to the back of the pack. She is fighting with Team Tall. Bang dangled. Calls it off. 2 points, Motor City Disassembly line, 0 for Madison.
You know, major credit to the endurance of some of these skaters. When Mean Streak hit that opening, she took off like she hadn't been playing 45 minutes. I mean, that was full speed.
lot of these games come down to endurance. Who's willing to play for a full hour and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing?
And keep playing in heat and humidity like this.
And after multiple impacts with a large, broad concrete surface.
This next jam is on. We have Combat Cat with the star for Detroit going up against Sequin Destroy Her.
Penalties abound as Molly Tov and 4-2-1 Flam Babe being sent to the penalty box on a low block and forearm respectively. Combat Cat gets out, calls it 4 points, Motor City Disassembly line.
Usually in a situation like this, a 3 versus 3 pack would open things up a bit, but there's been no sign of anything opening up all night long.
Those jammers are making their own holes to go through. They are manhandling their way, woman-handling their way through the pack.
It's true. Taking the 1055 jam line, we have number 10, Swift Justice for Detroit, going up against in white, number 6, Wipeout Scout for the Dairyland Dolls.
Both jammers are pushing their way through. Pack is not going very fast, but it doesn't need to. KJ makes contact with Swift Justice up there at the front. Team Tall is holding her at the front. Wipeout Scout is still fighting at the back of the pack.
Good old Team Tall holding it down. Big hit by CC Ripjaw.
She and Fang Dangle just were owning Swift Justice on the outside.
Flam Babe almost takes out the penalty box. Wipeout Scout, almost a full minute into the jam, finally gets lead jammer status. Swift Justice still fighting her way through. This is a testament to the kind of play this is.
Swift Justice still stuck behind Fang Dangled and Molotov, and it looks like Swift Justice is picking up a penalty for forearms. We'll be spending 30 seconds in the box. Detroit doing a great job of holding back Wipeout Scout at the very end. Scout able to pick up 3 points on that last pass, bringing the score to Dairyland Dolls 141, Detroit 107, with just under 9.5 minutes left to go in this second half.
They're staying at that 30-point differential threshold. Like, they're just kind of hovering there. Both defenses are really strong. Both defenses are really holding their own. This power jam may be a good determinant of who's going to take this home.
And this power jam is brought to you by Sprout and the Tail. She is the only jammer out there for the Dairyland Dolls. Taking a beating from Detroit. She is not happy, but she is through, and she is your lead jammer.
Effin' Money and Slayhound, Slayhound, and Combat Cat all go to the penalty box in the space of about 5 seconds.
Sprout and a Tail sneaks her way through that micro pack, picking up all 5 points. Lovely hit by Brokeback Jack, driving Swift Justice out on the outside.
Brokeback Jack takes a spill, takes out Sprout as well. She is still working through the front of the pack. She has just one blocker to beat. She is out. He sees Coach Pretty Reckless, asking her to call it off, does so. That is 1 point for the Motor City Disassembly line, and 4 for the Dairyland Dolls.
That brings our score, Dairyland Dolls 150, Detroit 108. Just under 8 minutes left to go. Taking the star for Detroit on the 1055 jammer line is Animatronic, going up against Gertrude Awakening for the Dairyland Dolls. We have an official timeout.
I think it might be an official review. I see some coaches and captains out there.
Oh.
But we'll get those deets here soon enough. In the meantime, what are these sponsors I keep on hearing about?
Well, for one thing, we got Super Duper. Super Duper does a whole lot of the printing work for MRD, and they offer digital offset, letterpress, and hand silk screen printing, and they do CD and DVD packaging and manufacturing. They'll package our bout footage. They'll package just about everything we've got that we need from them. Super Duper here in Madison. Also a reminder, folks, upcoming events for the Mad Rollin' Dolls is we've got our Expo bout July 18th at the Dane County Fair. August 9th is our triple header here against the Chicago outfit, Dairyland Dolls A, B, and Team Unicorn, all going up against one of the teams from the Chicago outfit. If you're looking for tickets for that in the coming days, our ticket outlets, once again, we thank them so much. Mullet's Pharmacy on Willie Street, the Freedom Skate Shop on State, and Pegasus Games on Odana Road.
No official review there, no official timeout, just making sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be. We had a skater report, ooh, big pile up in the first straightaway. Mostly the Dairyland Dolls. Animatronic Motor City Disassembly line being sent to the penalty box on a forearm. Leaves Gertrude Awakening on a power jam. And it was so.
And we have 4 and 4 on the track for each pack. Gertrude Awakening going up against Jam, getting a little offensive help by Micro Mauler. Unfortunately, she picks up a direction of gameplay penalty. It's going to be spending 30 seconds in the box as Gertrude Awakening picks up 5 points and comes back around for another pass.
You got to wonder if it was kind of worth it, though. It got her jammer through, and with this much time left in the game, just about any opening you can make might be worth it.
As a skater, as I sent a skater to the penalty box once, they said it the best way I've ever heard it. Worth it.
Oh, I believe those words have been uttered before. Taking the 105.5 jam line as our time winds down. We have Sequin Destroyer B52 going up against, again, Swift Justice number 10 for Detroit.
Dairyland Dolls really starting to open up a lead here in the last portion of this game. Now up to a 49-point lead. Motor City Disassembly Line has just a little over 6 minutes to start making up this gap here.
Both jammers still in the pack. Mean Streak trying to take the inside, goes down. Sequin Destroyer takes a leap over her and picks up lead jam status.
Number 4-2-1 from the Motor City Disassembly Line. Flam Babe being sent to the box on a cutting penalty, leaving it as a 3-4 defense in favor of Madison. Four points for the Mad Rollin' Dolls on that one. 1 for the Detroit Derby Girls. And again, for those of you just tuning in here at the end of the game, we have Madison here in the white and blue, and Motor City Disassembly Line Detroit in the dark blue and red.
Combat Cat taking the star for Detroit, going up against Wipeout Scout for the Dairyland Dolls. Combat Cat working up the inside against Dive Hard, Knocking Jay, and Fang picks up lead jam for Detroit.
And just as Flam Babe leaves the penalty box to get back on the track, number 770, Peaches and Creamia gets sent right back in, keeping that 3-4. 3 points, Motor City Disassembly Line. 3 points, Mad Rollin' Dolls.
Knockin' Jay doing a fantastic job directing traffic. I guess directing traffic where it shouldn't be for Detroit on the jam.
That brings our score. Detroit Disassembly Line 112, Dairyland Dolls 164. Just over 4 minutes left to go in this game. Oh my roller derby. We have Chompers wearing the star for Detroit for the first time this evening, going up against number 10, Sprout and a Tail. No stranger to the star, and that is Sprout and a Tail, your lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls. Chomper taking a big hit from Susie Homewrecker, recycling her all the way back as Sprout Natal takes a path through the pack, picking up 5 points.
Chompers is
premium
having
release, though. This is the first time in a while that Detroit finally has a full contingent of blockers on the track.
And with that, you have cursed them, Whistler, with a penalty. Chompers has picked up a forearm penalty and will be spending 30 seconds in the box as the Detroit Jammer.
Sprout Natal coming around again. She's hungry for more points. She wants to put the nails on this coffin. Detroit want to fire her as the gravedigger and take control of this.
Sprout calls that out and off emphatically at the end, picking up 5 points, extending the Dairyland Dolls lead to 179 to Detroit Disassembly to 112. We have a timeout being called by Detroit.
One final reminder as this wraps up, folks. After this bout is over, just practically next door to this stadium, at the Club Inferno is our after party. Food provided by Grassroots Farms LLC, catering by Vic Perez and the Blackhawk Country Club. Join the Dolls for the after party at Club Inferno, our summer party house.
I cannot wait to eat.
And it looks like Detroit has called an official review. They're not happy with something that happened on the track, and they would like the referees to discuss it for a little bit. This official review is brought to you by the refreshment of choice for the Mad Rollin' Dolls, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yum Yum Pabst Blue Ribbon.
We'd like to give a shout out to our friends over at Crest Spring Bakery in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. They were the providers of those lovely chocolate chip cookies that you got for being the first 100 people in the door at the last bout. And I hear a rumor that they might be doing the same thing for the bout on August 9th. So get here early if you want free chocolate chip cookies.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 11 is a perfectly acceptable answer for this, by the way. How good are these chocolate chip cookies?
12.
Holy moly.
I know. So go see our friends in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, CrestSpringBakery.com. You can see them on Facebook. You can go see them at the Dane County the Dane County Farmers Market right on the square. They have bread, they have cookies, they have scones, they have gluten-free.
They have cheesy bread. I'll be there real shortly.
I'm pretty sure I got a croissant with chèvre cheese in it the other day.
Excuse me for a moment. I have to make an errand run to someplace quick
I
fast.
need to go get me some baked goods. So as we continue this official review, it looks like we might be getting to the end of it. We'd like to again give a shout out to our friends running the video feed and running our video here tonight, Hinckley Design and Production. They produce everything from the videos you are watching tonight, commercials and interviews and sporting events. Hinckley Design and Production takes your project from start to finish.
That official review, because it was an official review, was by Detroit. They did not necessarily agree with that forearm penalty issued to their jammer. However, while it did not knock anybody down or out of bounds, it still caused that jammer to get past somebody else, earning her that point illegally. Thus, it's a penalty.
And that power jam has started off with Gertrude Awakening picking up lead jam status for the Dairyland Dolls. Coming back around to score some points.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. But on her tail, Chompers hits the wall. trying to get something in this jam. Whatever she can scrape up in the next 2 minutes.
Ooh, mean streak, putting the hit out on Fang Dangled. That's a souvenir right there.
Gertrude Awakening picking up another 5-point pass, calling off that jam, and shutting out Detroit. Dairyland Dolls bringing the score to 189. Detroit Disassembly line 112. We have just under a minute and a half left to go. It's possible that this could be the last jam of the game. It's possible that there could be more than one. I'm just going to say that those are all possibilities.
It's good not to curse yourself like that. I've done that plenty of times too.
True.
You love Derby, folks. If you love a great ending to a bout, stand up now, cheer it on. This may be your last one.
B-52 putting her shoulder down and attempting to just drive those blockers forward. Makes a bit of progress, but has to be recycled to the back. A multiplayer block call being issued to a Detroit skater. That is Mickey
Effin'
Knox
money,
being sent to the
jammer
penalty
for
box at a multiplayer. Effin' money. Big pile up there right at the end of the jam. Referees are taking a second to give it a couple of knocking Jay and enjoying the coldness of the floor.
Very clever move by Detroit there, calling it off before we even get to 30 seconds left, so they do not have to burn a timeout, keeping one as an emergency just in case something goes astray this jam.
It is possible to call an official review after the game, after the time has run out, just in case something really nasty happens at the end. Blockers hemorrhaging off the track. Wipeout Scout calls it. We're gonna check the score here pretty quick, make sure that everything's fine.
We do not say it's final until it really is final.
We want to double check that score, make sure everything's hunky-dory and in order. Waiting for Stabby McDudebro to give us the high sign.
We are still waiting for the official final score from the scoreboard and the referees, but I do believe that we can call this in favor of the Dairyland Dolls B team.
Unless there is a major scoring error.
I don't think we are going to have that happen. So we would like to thank our friends at Detroit and from St. Cloud for visiting us this evening and playing roller derby. We have a final score of Detroit Disassembly line 112, Dairyland Dolls B team 195.
And just as a last friendly reminder, if you wanted to party with us, just come on right down to the Inferno. If you walk out the front door of this place and look straight forward, you will see the Inferno. It's right across the tracks. It's a good place to get a drink. If you show your ticket stub, you should have...
Yep. If you were here at the bout, you can get in free to the after party. Just hold on to that ticket stub and show it to the man at the door, and you will get in free. Our high-scoring jammers for this bout for the Dairyland Dolls, Sprout and a Tail with 58, and for the Disassembly line, Swift Justice.